Morning, everybody. It's day one after Dopey.
Hi.
I figured we'd give an after-action report of the whole weekend. Some things that we did right, some things we did wrong, and then some things that I think Run Disney could do better. So I figured we'd break it down race by race and then let you know. So I guess without further ado, no, we're going to stop and check in, and then we'll get into the 5K. Okay, so I actually take it back. We can't start with the 5K. Let's start with the Expo.
I take it back. No, it takes us back.
No, too late. So Expo Day. We checked in late because we took a flight day of Expo. So part of this is our fault.
Yeah.
However, I have a major complaint about the amount of time it took to get into the Expo.
It was, yeah.
I'm not calling anybody out because I don't know what could have been done better or differently, but it seemed like there was a lot more, what?
Traffic.
Yeah, that's the word, traffic.
Like, I don't know if the field is bigger. I didn't know it did that.
What if I told you I did?
You did?
Then I'd be lying.
Oh, I was like, what?
Okay, so...
I'll toot.
So back to the Expo traffic.
Forget the Expo, toot. I don't know if the field is bigger or just the idea of like the shoes and all of that stuff is attracting more people who aren't runners. But it was strange. We weren't in town for like the 7 a.m. or the 8:30 a.m. virtual queue to get into the merch thing. But I had heard tales that it was like gone in like seconds, like crazy. And that doesn't normally seem to be the case. It normally seems to stay open for like a couple of minutes. But yeah, and then by the time we could try again at 1 o'clock, it was like anticipated callback time was like 2.5 hours, and then like an hour later it was like 2 hours, and then an hour later it was like 2 hours, and so we were like, we don't want to do this, like we didn't want to stay there. So we checked out and went and had dinner and came back, and then there was no more virtual queue. They weren't checking. It was probably 7:30. I think we got there at like 6:30 or 7, something like that. I mean, a lot of stuff was picked through. There wasn't a ton, but like there was no line for anything, and so like I think this year we weren't super excited about any of the merch. Not the Dopey branded or any of the race specific branded stuff. I like the generic Run Disney things better. So if we had done it better, like if knowing that we weren't super excited about anything, I think what we should have done is just waited until 5 or 6 o'clock and just gone when there was no one there, because it was hot. There was tons of people everywhere. It seemed like it was. Again, I don't know if the field is bigger. It seems like they are adding more and more since 2020. But which, to be fair, I think is awesome. I think if more people are getting into Disney running and running in general, I think that's great, cool, sweet. I just don't know how it could be done differently, but I think they're trying. Yeah, it's just a work in progress. I think each time they're like, "Oh, that worked better than this did." But sure. And with more people, which they said they're going to do when springtime or Wine and Dine. Yeah, but there was like plenty of the Brooks shoes, like just plenty of them, like day one. Like that, I think they've done a really good job of making sure that supply is meeting the demand, and then being able to. Hopefully they don't iron it out so they don't have to put any online later. I hope they always have more than they need, so they can put them online later for people who aren't here, so that way they don't get in my space. But that's kind of crappy. But also I want to buy them online if I didn't come to the weekend, so. Fair. Anything else about the Expo? No, it just felt a lot more crowded than usual. But that's with our limited experience doing this. So someone is probably going to be like, oh, no, it's always like that. And it just didn't feel that way to me. But other than that, it was fine,
5K.
We did a 5K?
We did it. Yeah, we done it, darling. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, let's just say that all these things we're talking about will be hashed out in their own videos. This will be the first one to come out, so the rest of them will be in weeks to come. Keep an eye out if you're interested. So the 5K was just like any other Disney 5K in a lot of ways. It's not timed, so there's no pressure to finish it, no balloon ladies, and that's all good.
Yeah, which is really great if a 5K is your very first entry point into any type of running, which is incredible. Good for you. Don't let anyone minimize the fact that you did a 5K and you trained for it and you worked for it. Never say just a 5K. Even though later on we're going to say things like just a marathon. Don't worry about it. But it's really great to not have that extra pressure of not being able to like complete the thing that you worked really hard for. Because I would argue that taking that first step and training for a 5K is harder than advancing and start training for like a half marathon, because it's really scary to do something new like that. So I think that's kind of a nice thing that because there's more time, you don't have extra pressure. As long as you put in the training and you did it, you'll be able to do it without having to worry so much about time.
That's fair.
That being said, we are slackers after all, so we don't take it as seriously as some people do.
Yeah, our costume theme this week this 5K
was out of this world.
It's fun to dress as astronauts. The
Yeah.
weather was cool enough that onesie felt great.
Yeah.
The race course felt suspiciously familiar. I guess eventually they start doing that because you run by the same thing many times. But it was a good course, except for the stink behind Epcot. But otherwise, whatever.
It's a fan fave. If you know, you know.
It's an acquired taste.
Do you like that they have you kind of run out in front of the Spaceship Earth now that it's not Walcott anymore? They have you kind of like weave through and then in front. So
yeah, that was cool. Good photo stops.
Yeah.
Character stops, yeah, but like good background photo stops.
That guy's showing up.
Stormtroopers.
Oh no, is Kylo Ren showing up again?
Probably.
Ugh.
It's okay, Ben. Oh, what else do we have? It is Kylo Ren. Do we have anything else to say about the 5K?
No. Well done.
Yep.
Everything was great. Everything was fun. And if it was your first 5K, you're amazing. Love you.
Tips for the parks. Pack your own drugs.
Got a pocket full of Profins and my homeboys do too.
Okay, 10K time.
We did a 10K?
You know, like last week. Actually, it was last week.
Man, I forget everything that happens.
Yeah.
It all blended together.
We dressed as members of the Banana Ball League.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was fun. You were a clown.
Are you?
I still am a party animal. Somebody on the course says to me, "Are you an actual party animal?" I said, "No, absolutely not. I'm nowhere near that cool." Oh no, not the pop.
Popcorn down.
I think the 10K course was probably the best course of all the races. It was almost all inside parks. There was never nothing to look at. There was always something to help remind you that you weren't running a race, which is helpful.
Yeah. It was like maybe like half a mile of highway. Nah, it's not fair. It was like a mile and a half of highway, but
It doesn't feel like it. I don't remember it being that way.
it was the majority of it was Epcot and Boardwalk. So it was really entertaining, really fun. Nick was our pacer.
Oh, I was the pacer. That's right.
And there were several people who were like, "What? What are you guys doing?" Because it's easy to follow. And I said, "Yeah, he's."
Follow the loudmouth in the pink shirt.
I said he's almost as loud as he's dressed, and yeah, it was pretty good. But we made a lot of friends on the course, which Nick unofficially ended up being a pacer for more than the slackers. But it was a lot of fun.
It was. End of the race, we ended up finishing with the balloon ladies, or right in front of them, because
Per usual.
yeah, we spent several minutes talking to Riley and Pelkey and all of them at the end of the race.
We also started in the penultimate corral.
Oh yeah, that was the word of the week, wasn't it?
Penultimate, yes.
Right,
I did that twice. Started in the second to last wave of, not the second to last corral, but the second to last wave before that final sweep pasting, aka the Balloon Ladies, which is a very stressful thing in some situations. So, but we didn't start off that far behind or in front of them, so it only makes sense that we would have finished with them. Does that make sense?
Sure. Kind of lost me there for a second.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, we didn't have, it's not like we had like an hour buffer to make it crazy for us to have
lollygag it?
finished with the Balloon Ladies. Like it's kind of expected.
The moment where I was pacing us too fast. That's
Oh yeah. And then we decided to slow down and walk, and then there was a moment where I was pacing them too fast with the walk. So poor Jared, he was like, he's running too fast. And I was like, he is. And then they finally slowed down, and then we're like, all right, we can walk the rest of the way.
And later on, he says to me, she really does walk fast.
Things that we did wrong. Having us be the pacers for any version of the slackers, because
Calling the time was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sibling
just-
and I were way too fast at the beginning, and we got told so.
basically we need Lindsay.
But we said, hey, let's let Jenny do it.
And Jenny did great. We just told her what time.
And then it worked.
Then it worked.
Is that one regret I have about being slow is that the character stops are less open to the people in the back of the pack.
Yeah.
I think the 10K had some of the best character stops of the weekend,
Yeah.
and we didn't get to do any of them. I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Rather, I don't regret doing what we did because I had a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
it would be nice to stop for some characters, and I guess the only way to do that is to be a fast runner.
That's a choice you have to make. You either go slow and hang out with your slow friends, or you get characters. Who do you like more?
Well, when you put it that way.
Ooh, half marathon. Okay, what was worse, the half marathon or Tower of Terror?
Well, that's a no-brainer. Tower of Terror was worse. Half marathon was the best. Half marathon is my favorite distance, and I love because it's challenging, but it's not break you off challenging.
Yeah. Well, I'll start off with one thing I did wrong. I didn't train for it.
So that's valid.
Yeah.
However, you did really well. I'm super proud of you. You rocked it out.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like a stubborn thing, but also I had you pacing me, which was helpful.
The course was good. There was not as much outside on. Well, no, I mean,
It
I think
was crowded.
they're all kind of starting to run together. It was a crowded half. There was never a fear in my mind of being swept, not on the half. Although we did take a good bit of time to do it. We did do death. Death was part of it. Death is that half-mile on-ramp that you get to about mile 10.
Hopefully you can find that picture again and like post it.
I'll do my best.
Here. But yeah, we if not, maybe we can ask Amy to make another one. But yeah, it was like once the sun came up, it got really, really hot, which unfortunately is like the back half of the race where you're doing the entire thing directly into sun.
We had a
There's no
miscommunication
shade. Yeah.
about when to stop running.
We did.
It said when we get to the castle, we'll stop running and we'll just walk the rest of the way.
Right.
Which I thought meant we'll wait till we have our picture in front of the castle. But Andrea said, "Oh, look, there's the castle.
There's the castle.
We're not running anymore."
I'm done.
But it worked out. We didn't get swept, and we did run into more slackers at the castle. Probably the best costumes I've seen.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful.
It was fun.
Speaking of costumes,
Yeah, we were Judy
Dis-
Hopps and Nick Wilde. That one was a fun one too.
Disney's newest power couple.
Yes. Are they a couple? I don't know.
Well, see, I don't know either. The internet has a lot of opinions about it.
Yeah. Nick had a great plan to keep me distracted in that back half by asking me opinions about Zootopia lore. And unfortunately, after the third one, I was like, I don't care.
Some of these I came up with off the top of my head. Some of them the internet provided to me.
What was the one that you didn't get to ask me because the vibes were off?
What about lint rollers? Do they got to worry about that? But this is a serious one though. If you've seen the second Zootopia movie, I want your opinion. Is what do they call that? The bayou area, the swampland?
Swampland, or
is that a commentary?
Watertown? I don't know.
Ooh, we'll put it in there and let y'all rotisserie
Where
us.
they're like, hey bub.
Yeah, that place.
Hey bub, 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 bub.
Is that a commentary on them taking down Frontierland at Magic Kingdom?
But I felt confident going into it. Sorry, it's sun's in my face. But by like mile 8 is when I always during a half marathon hit my dark spot. Like I go internal, I go dark. And he goes, I just felt a shift in you. Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then around mile like 9 or 10, I was just walking and my hip popped. And after that, it became quite a struggle because after my hip popped, then my knee started hurting and then my blister popped. But it was at that moment where I was like, I feel good. I'm going to finish the half. I feel well enough to finish the half, but I'm absolutely, Dopey is done for me at this point. But it was fine. Like I don't regret anything with it.
Anything Run Disney could have done better? Anything that they did right?
I think they did a lot of things right. I think the whole like water station in a massively choked area is.
Yeah, so I think we're specifically talking about where they have the electric water pageant parked.
Yeah, so in between Polynesian and Grand Floridian, it's like a sidewalk, which they have like a little metal bridge over there, which is always slippery. Mm-hmm. And then they have a water stop in the middle of it.
They also have a med table right there.
Yeah, so it's like a med tent water stop, and then the electric water pageant is there, and it's all on like a normal like suburban size sidewalk.
So I have a question. Is there some sort of national or international regulating body that says there must be so many water stops and they have to be a certain distance in between each other?
I don't know.
Because there's always a water stop and a med tent there, and I agree. It's a rough enough spot where if you're doing run, walk, run, and it's time to walk, it's hard enough to get out of the running lane to walk. So
it was basically like we were all in line for water at that point.
So to add water and med right there.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I don't know.
It wasn't like a spot on the course as much as it was a queue to get to water.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. In my brain, it's like why, and it might be logistics as far as like keeping it stocked.
They're about to drop.
Oh.
I saw the door open. It was at this point, the half marathon point, where I noticed a sharp decline in the quality of the porta-johns.
Oh.
Well, you notice things, and I understand that there's a lot of people there, and runners have
needs,
finicky guts. I respect that, but maybe it's at this point that Run Disney could have cleaned them.
Oh, speaking of needs.
You know, so you're like half of the race is done, and far more miles coming up.
Yeah.
Now might be a good time to refresh the lavatories.
Oh yeah, one more thing that I did wrong. Okay, so this is where the list of things that the Tikis did wrong gets longer than the things that Run Disney did wrong. And I forgot my fuel.
Yes.
And I had some like cheddar bunnies and like graham bunnies that I was gonna use as like a funny like, haha, I'm eating bunnies, but it doesn't have actual bunny in it joke. Forgetting my actual half marathon fuel. So I wound up actually using those as my fuel, and I had never done any trial run with them, and my tum-tum got real upset, which contributed to the dark place. But so another mistake, I didn't check to make sure that I had all my actual fuel.
So the lesson there is to train with the stuff before you pull it out on race day?
Yeah.
look, and there are some tanks over there too, of water.
Tom Tanks.
Beautifully restored British Mark I rhomboid tank. Right
Is that
there.
really what it is?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's no, but yes. But that's what it's supposed to be.
Well, the gun is out, so.
Oh yeah, she's kaput. Okay, let's talk about this marathon. How was your marathon experience, babe?
Fantastic. I loved it. Truly. Do you want to know why? Because I only did 1.5 miles of it. And then I got breakfast with Lynn's. Anyway, so I got 1.5 miles in. I got 2 character stops. And then I got my net weight in Mickey waffles. And then we went to mile 25, Lynn's and I, and we got to cheer people on, and then I got to see them at the finish line. So, in other words, getting swept at mile 1.5 of the marathon made it the best marathon I've ever run. Is it the only marathon I've ever run? Yes. Yes, it is. But, I loved it. How was your marathon?
I was running for myself the whole marathon. I did PR though.
You did?
Not an
That's
overall
amazing.
PR, but a Dopey PR. It was a really well-themed race. It was beautiful. The only spot that really was awful was that 1.5 miles or whatever right outside of Animal Kingdom. Because by the time I got there, it was really hot and there's no shade. So
And there's like no shade for the rest of it.
there's minimal shade, yeah. It was at that point where I thought, you know what, my watch and my Magic Band are a little bit tight. So I loosened them a little bit and my hands immediately went and from then on out I was running with swollen hands. Yeah, up to that point it was great. It was cool. It was the theming was good. The course was good. I have a few character stops. I got Nick and Judy, and I got most of the Star Wars characters. The line for Chewbacca and Rey was ridiculous, so I skipped that one, but I got everybody else. I even got the Jawas. So if you don't do your shadow work during training, you're going to have emotions and feelings come up and hit you during the marathon. And it's just like training your body. If you don't train your mind, then by the time you actually hit the race, you're going to have issues with things. And I totally did. I started going into a dark place the night after the 10K. And I was in pretty dark. Sometimes you can push those feelings off. But by the time I hit the marathon, they were creeping up behind me. And I think I was running from my devils the whole way. I hit mile 24 and I started getting emotional. And by the time I finished, it was...
I think at some point when you do long distances, your body can no longer hold in emotions. Like, you can usually bottle it up. And so it's like a cathartic release. And like a lot of people, myself included, say at some point, they're like, I just started crying and I don't know why. It's not like I was in pain. It's not like there was anything specifically wrong.
I'm not trying to say that there's something wrong with having emotions during a race. It's not at all. But they can take you to pretty self-defeating dark places if you're not ready to combat them when the race comes. Because when you're in the middle of your run, you're emotionally vulnerable. Yeah. And it's really good to figure that out before you hit the course.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're going to have to figure it out on the course, and that's tough.
Or at minimum, mentally prepare yourself for having a dark moment where, because everybody has one, no matter like how well trained you are. I feel like everybody has a dark moment where they just want to give up. So it's like knowing that that's coming, and it's all just part of the race. It's all part of the process. It's like if you treat it like another water stop, essentially, it makes it a lot easier to know that it's like, okay, this is going to pass. And it's going to be fine, but it does help more to know that you've got a plan in place for it.
It was hot towards the second half of the course. In fact, they even shut down Blizzard Beach.
After you already went through it?
Oh, yeah, I went through it. And so we've been walking around the park today and was listening to people yesterday. And there are a lot of folks who are really salty about the fact that they got through Blizzard Beach and then they shut it down. Hey, these things happen on a course.
Yeah.
This is nowhere near the first.
So hot. It was so hot.
It's not the hottest course I've ever done, and it's definitely not the first time I've done a race where they've either black flagged it or shortened the course because of heat.
Was it your first marathon? They black flagged it
Yeah, I was lucky.
Like you were beyond the sweet point for them to black flag it.
Yeah.
So you still.
So I'm lucky I got to finish it, because if they had involuntarily pulled me from the course, I would have been ticked.
But you finished your last 5K in black flag conditions,
right,
and you're like, why is it so?
I guess
is it
Disney
so hard?
has a choice, right? They can either kill the race and pull you wherever you stand, or they can cut the course short and you still get to finish.
Yeah.
And I think the way they do it is the right way, because man, it would be awful to be yanked from the course. Oh, you're done. What do you mean I'm done? I don't feel done. Oh no.
Yes,
We've decided you're done for your own safety. Instead of just cutting pieces off, like, okay, you can finish with grace and dignity. I think they did the right thing.
I think I would prefer yes, you are too done, but
It's just me. I don't really love the character stops for this marathon. Some of them were really cool, but a lot of characters were like, either I've had my picture with them, or they weren't the most memorable characters.
Yeah.
And I know that that's going to be completely subjective, because people bring their own emotions and their own feelings to a character. But a lot of it didn't speak to me. Now, Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah.
I think some of the Star Wars characters were too close together, because you'd run and then you hit.
Yeah.
I think the Stormtroopers were first, and then Vader was immediately after that. And then we ran a little bit, and we got to the Jawas, and then Rey and Chewie, and then Kylo Ren. The great characters. I'm glad for them all. Maybe spread. I don't know. There's so much more that Run Disney has to think of than just what I say.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is there anything you'd like to see different next marathon?
In the limited amount of time that I spent on the marathon course, no, everything was great. I will say that it was actually very empowering for me to pull myself or get swept. We knew we were getting swept. It was really more of like, let's just go to leisurely play pace there. We started at the second to last wave to go through, so we knew we weren't going to get very far. We were walking like a 20-minute mile, that type of thing. But I will say that the process as far as getting swept is so well done. I'm actually very impressed with the way that they handle things. I know it's a very sensitive thing that they have to do. I know they have a tough job, but there were several opportunities. It wasn't like the balloon ladies passed me and then somebody like snatched me from the course and ran away with me or anything like that. It was more of like, hey, how you feeling? Do you need medical? Do you think you can keep up with them? Because the sweet point's coming up soon. And we were like, oh no, we're ready. We're done. That's fine. Thank you. But it was great. I love the way that they do it, honestly.
Okay, can I weigh in on that, having not been swept?
Yes. Please.
I listen to a lot of people talk because we're around the parks today. And there are a lot of people who, it seems like they really want to complain about how miserable the course was.
Yeah.
And I think that, everybody's living their own fights, but don't diminish what you do. And I think it's unfair to yourself and to everybody who's run the races that you would diminish the experience by focusing on the pain. Like, if you step off and made it 100 yards and you had to pull yourself, that's awesome. If you finished, great. If you PR'd, even more so. That's really stinking cool.
Yeah.
So my admonishment would be, if you do these things, it's easy to focus on the pain.
Yeah.
Because, I'm hurting. And you run 26 miles and 13 miles the day before and you on and on. It's easy to focus on that, but I would like to see more people celebrate their accomplishments than bemoan their pain and misery.
Yeah.
Like Carissa says, you got to do this. You chose it. Mm-hmm. You had the opportunity, the privilege, the blessing of being able to come out here to a really cool place, to do a really well-themed race, and it's really a cool experience that you got to share and have. So,
and no matter where that finish line,
dwell on your pain if you have to, because it's part of your experience. But don't focus on that. Yeah. Because it's...
And celebrate the fact that you made a choice that was good for you to do it, and hopefully you stayed healthy throughout all of it, and you no matter where that finish line was at any point in any of those races, I'm proud of you guys for doing all the things. I know
it's Donald and Daisy.
Donald and Daisy are over here. They're so freaking cute.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, he gave her kisses. Oh my gosh. Couples goals. They're so cute. Oh, he loves her. Okay. But on that, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to do one more final part of this video where I did whatever overarching themes or conclusion, but I think we just covered it in this marathon portion.
I think so too.
So I guess that's all we've got.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you coming along for this journey. Like I said,
So cute. I love
distracted.
him.
More videos will come. We're going to drop this coming Saturday. And then the 5K, 10K, and all those other videos will come forward. So we'll be a couple weeks late behind all the other influencers that do these videos. That's cool. If you got some value out of this, I really am glad. I appreciate you watching. And if you came back for the next few videos, great. If not,
great.
That's cool too. Go check out the Slackers. Go check out Ox and Spoon's channel. They're our friends. They're great people.
They're better than we are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
1000%.
So with all that having been said, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.